Good morning, everyone. Is it? No, good afternoon now, everyone. Thank you all for being here at such a momentous occasion, not just for the Queensborough President's Office, but for the entire borough of Queens. To our elected officials, look at the diversity amongst our elected officials here. I want to thank you for your presence and your support. A special shout out. That's some good music.
Can we put our phones on mute, folks, please? Thank you.
So I want to thank our electeds for being here, and thank you for your support and presence. A special shout out goes to my sister, however, Assemblymember Catalina Cruz, for being such a driver of what we're unveiling today. We could not have done this without you and your vision, so thank you. To our numerous community-based organizations and immigrant service providers here today, we are eternally grateful for the work all of you do every single day. You are the people who are on the ground every single day, effectuating real change and improving the lives of countless families. We are the world's borough because of each and every one of you, so thank you. I could not be more excited to say what I'm about to say. Welcome to the Immigrant Welcome Center at Queens Borough Hall, the first such center in New York City. This is just the beginning, folks. And I could not be prouder that we are opening the center during Immigrant Heritage Month, a time when we celebrate our immigrant past, present, and future. This is a borough of 2.4 million people. If we were our own city, we'd be the 4th largest city in this country. If we were our own state, there would be 15 states with a smaller population than ours. Of those 2.4 million people, nearly half were born in a country other than the United States of America. That's more than 1 million people from every continent and every corner of the globe coming right here to our borough. Think about that. There are more immigrants here in Queens than there are people in the city of Fort Worth, Texas, or the entire state of Delaware. Too bad for them. Now, these are individuals who are coming to Queens for a variety of reasons, whether it's for economic opportunity, fleeing troubles in their home nations, to reunite with family or otherwise. And we know the good food here as well. It's one reason that I'm here. But regardless of why someone comes to Queens, the fact of the matter is they may need some assistance along the way. We leave no one behind in this borough, and it is our duty to ensure all of our residents have an equal opportunity, not just to survive, but thrive. The organizations represented here do incredible work to uplift our immigrant neighbors, and we are grateful to them for that. But for far too long, Queens has lacked a centralized hub that our immigrant families can come to and know that whatever their needs are, they can secure the resources they seek. That ends today with the launch of our historic Immigrant Welcome Center. While we celebrate today, let's not forget that there are those who preach hatred and distrust of our immigrant neighbors. There are those who work to keep our immigrant families trapped in the shadows. Until recently, the President of the United States was one of those individuals. We may have a new administration in Washington, but things will not change overnight. Our fight continues in the name of meaningful immigration reform, where immigrants are finally treated with the honor and respect they deserve. We know folks like Representative Grace Ming and others will continue to lead that fight in Washington, D.C. But no matter what happens or who's in charge in D.C., I want the people of Queens to know one thing: you are welcome here. No matter where you come from, no matter what language you speak, no matter what your background is, this borough belongs to you. And we would not be as strong as we are without you. Like anyone else, our immigrant families and their children go to our schools. They start businesses in our neighborhoods. There are police officers, firefighters, doctors, nurses, teachers, community board members, and even elected officials. They are the essential workers who sacrifice so much to keep Queens afloat in the worst days of the COVID-19 pandemic. They are the lifeblood of our borough, and it's about time they receive the support and services they need and deserve. So I am enormously proud to stand here today as the son of Donovan Richards Sr., a Jamaican immigrant who became a citizen last year, to cut the ribbon on this Immigrant Welcome Center. And he did vote for you, at least a couple. Voted for the first time last year. I'm also enormously proud of the 2 immigrant women in my office who will run this center. My tireless Director of Immigrant Affairs, Anayeli Gomez-Britton. And our Immigrant Welcome Center coordinator, Megan Ewan. Megan Ewan, come on in. Welcome to the team. Thank you to CUNY Citizenship Now, who will be working closely with us to help provide critical services, such as legal consultation. I want folks to know this center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day, every weekday, Monday through Friday. You can reach the center by calling 718-286-0644 or emailing welcome@queensbp.org. We are looking forward to accepting walk-in visitors in the future, but because of COVID-19, visits are by appointment only, so please email us or call ahead. And speaking of calling, it is also my pleasure to announce that we have launched our office's first ever language access phone line. Non-English speakers calling our office in search of services will be simultaneously connected to both a member of my staff and a third-party translator, breaking down any potential language barriers. Commitments we made and the commitments kept. We are the world's borough. This is the people's house. Today it truly does belong to all of the people of Queens. Congratulations. Yes. All right, so we're going to now go to someone who really, this idea, going back last summer, we started to talk about having a welcome center at Queensborough Hall. And it is such an honor to fulfill her vision, the first dreamer elected to the New York State Assembly, Catalina Cruz.
Thank you, brother. And what a more beautiful day to open this amazing center than on the anniversary of DACA. It's not enough for our families to have DACA, we need more, so let's not forget that. But what a momentous occasion. You know, I started having this idea of what it would be to have all of the services under one roof probably about 10 years ago, when I myself was a practicing attorney and I would have to send my clients to 5 different places to get help. But when you're an immigrant, you often don't trust government in the first place. And imagine trying to open up a small business, or going through a divorce, or needing an immigration lawyer, or trying to apply for an employment insurance, and you have to go to 5 different places. We're a complex community, we have many issues, and now we have one place where we can go and find the help that we need. A place that feels safe, a place that feels welcoming, and a place that where you don't have to worry about whether you speak the language, whether you have the right status, what the color of your skin is. It doesn't matter. If you're an immigrant, you're welcome at our Welcome Center. And so I thank our board president. When we sat down, we've been friends for a long time, for those who may not know, and when we sat down and he had this idea of running and trying to figure out how do we help our immigrant community, and I said, I have the most amazing idea for you. And he committed to making it happen within his first 6 months, and here we are. And I am so incredibly proud of the team to have Anayeli, who has a trajectory of leading immigrant work for so long, within and without and outside of government. I know it's in good hands, and I know it's in good hands with you, and I cannot wait to be able to work with your team on getting the word out. Para mí es un honor poder estar aquí apoyando a nuestro presidente del condado. Cuando yo le traje esta idea, una idea que nació de mi propia práctica hace 10 años, cuando yo veía a mis propios clientes que necesitaban servicios y tenían que ir a 10 diferentes oficinas para poder que les ayudaran. Si necesitan algo de inmigración, algo de desempleo, 10 lugares, y como inmigrantes a veces no confiamos en el gobierno. Y tener un solo lugar donde puedo entrar, me siento que es un lugar seguro, donde hablan mi idioma y me pueden ayudar, no importa lo que necesite, va a ser algo básico en nuestra ciudad, y es el primero en el estado de Nueva York. No solamente, I just looked at you like you understood what I said.
You said I did it in my first 6 months.
Well, yes, but what I just said is this is the first one in the entire city, not just the city, in the entire state of New York. Es el primero en todo el estado de Nueva York y va a volverse el modelo a seguir, porque aquí vamos a ayudar a nuestra comunidad a prosperar, a que sean integrados a nuestra sociedad y que se sientan seguros y amados, porque si eres un inmigrante, aquí te queremos. Para mí, le doy las gracias a su equipo, le doy las gracias a nuestro presidente del condado, y no a la hora de estar trabajando con ellos. Thank you so much. Thank you for making my little dream come true.
Alrighty, perfect. All right, we're gonna mix it up as well. So we're gonna have someone I've known for a long time, from my days in the city council. I was the co-chair of the Progressive Caucus. She was our executive director, and she does such great work now in her new role as the interim VP of Advocacy for the New York Immigration Coalition, Alana Cantillo. Come on in.
Thanks so much for having me. My name is Alana Cantillo. I'm the Interim Vice President of Advocacy for the New York Immigration Coalition. First off, congratulations to my former boss. What an amazing feat. It's really so empowering to be in this space, beneficial to all the residents across New York City. We know that the boundaries are man-made and folks are going to go where the services meet them, and I know that this is going to be a very fruitful, very successful endeavor because of your work ethic, because of the diverse team that you have, and the partnerships that you've created. The New York Immigration Coalition is a coalition of over 200 member organizations across the state of New York. We have offices throughout the state, and we work with folks that partner on direct services, civic engagement, on a lot of different missions to benefit immigrant New Yorkers and fight for immigrant rights. As you can imagine, we've been very busy combating Islamophobia, anti-Asian violence, racism, all types of discrimination that didn't start in Washington is certainly not going to end with the leadership in DC. I'm so delighted to hear so much synergy, to hear about programs for language access, which we fight very hard for, to hear about language for our legal services, which we prioritize and are a core of our members here in New York City, to make sure that folks who are fighting detention, fighting deportation to keep families together, making sure that we value the families that have contributed to our community and our society during their time here. The New York Immigration is also going to, further those partnerships. As we speak, we're working with over 500,000 individuals to register, educate, and mobilize voters around the election. We also want to make sure that folks are connected to adult literacy resources and so many more important networks. And I want to just do a brief anecdote about why these initiatives are so important to me. I'm an immigrant from Colombia. I came to this country as a toddler, and I remember being undocumented as a young adult and going to my local library, being very aware of my status. There were services for naturalization at this library, and there was a list of countries that were made available. If these are your countries of origin. And there was a very clear and very short list of countries that could not be accessible, and Colombia was one of them. I have to note that feeling felt very isolating. It didn't instill in me the virtues that I believe in government as a change agent to improve society and to be accessible to me and my family at that time. So it's not only really symbolic and emotional and personal to me to be able to connect people and my own neighbors to this resource, but to know that we're sort of disrupting our notions of what government can and should do, and we're able to do that with tremendous leadership like our borough president, Donovan Richards. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
We started from the bottom. Next we'll hear from my good friend and a leader on so many fronts, and most people will just say, well, she's done a lot of work around anti-Asian hate, but she's been a fighter on so many fronts when it comes to discrimination, harassment, ensuring that our communities could have resources and equity, and Black Lives Matter. She's just been with us so much through so many struggles, and it is now my honor to bring up my good friend, Congresswoman Grace Miller.
afternoon, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Grace Meng, proud to represent parts of Queens, and just incredibly honored to be with the entire team here at Borough Hall, with our Borough President, Donovan Richards, our Deputy Borough President, Ron Babinda, to my good friend and sister, Assemblywoman Catalina Cruz, who actually I've been talking to on the sidelines about this wonderful idea and initiative for over the past few months, and I'm just so excited. You know, if you look at the sayings and the quotes that are framed around this wall, the past few years have been really difficult for so many Americans, especially the newer American immigrant communities. Immigrants, whether you are a new immigrant, a new American, or whether you've been here for 3 generations, have been made to feel like they don't belong here, and have made to feel like they are not good enough and don't qualify to be Americans. And so we really are turning a new page, and it's no surprise that our County of Queens is leading the way, not just here in the city, but across the country, really. And as Catalina was saying before, it's so true. Oftentimes we get constituents who come to our office at the federal, the state, the city level, and sometimes the answer is it's a city issue, it's a federal issue. But when you're going through tough struggles, when you are just literally trying to feed your families and trying to make sure that your families stay together, they don't have the luxury of going to 5 different places and offices to seek help. And so the fact that we are able to have our constituents here in Queens come to this Immigrant Welcome Center is really such a blessing to so many of us. And it really sends a signal to Americans all across this country that we don't have to be on the defense about trying to fit in and trying to see who is American enough to deserve to be here, that we should be on the offense because we are all American enough. Our stories, experiences, and histories, we all deserve to be here, and we all play an integral piece of what American history truly is. And so I'm so thrilled to do this. We are actually working on a federal level to make this happen. That's my dream. I don't have as much say as the borough president, but our executive and the White House does, but we are hoping and have legislation to make this dream a reality federally as well. So thank you so much, Donovan, for your constant vision and leadership with compassion for the people of Queens.
Thank you. I think we have advocates out in the hallway, so I wanted them to come in. These are the folks who do the work day in and day out, so if we can grab them too, that would be good. We now will hear from Malik, the Deputy Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs.
I'm going to have to keep my mask on, so I'll try to speak loudly. My name is Malik, Deputy Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs. It's an honor to be here this afternoon. I'll be brief because a lot of the sentiments that have been shared are sentiments that I am aligned with. I too am an immigrant. I moved to the United States when I was 3 years old, and I wonder sometimes, if my family would have felt more supported, possibly a bit more a part of our community and our suburb that we grew up in, if such a thing like this existed. So special thanks to Queensborough President Richards for your incredible leadership and to your fantastic team. Frank Joseph and I go all the way back. I'm so glad he's on your team, and to Anayeli and to others, and also to the honorable electeds and community members gathered here today. This is truly a concerted effort, this fight for the inclusion of immigrants in this city, and also for reform of immigration at all levels of government is a key priority. And also thank you to Queens for just always bringing the energy, the laughs, and the good nature, the positivity is truly unparalleled. So as the Deputy Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, I'm fully aware that there is a gap that exists between immigrant New Yorkers and the services and the resources that are available to them. And these are things that are available to them regardless of their immigration status or their ability to pay. New York City has one of the most comprehensive confidential laws or policies around confidentiality in the country. And so, we cannot recover as a city if we don't center the recovery and the full inclusion of immigrant New Yorkers, whether they've been here for a couple of years or have been here for decades. as a first of its center, first of its kind center like this, like Representative Meng mentioned, really signals very loudly that not only do we value our immigrant New Yorkers, but it also makes it very clear that if you're here, you're a New Yorker, it doesn't matter where you were born, what language you speak, if you are here, you are welcome. And so just to wrap it up, Moya looks forward greatly to be working with Queensborough President Richards and his incredible team. Moya itself is in a constant process and journey of connecting immigrants to the resources that they need throughout the city, and to have such a credible and trusted and wonderful partner in the Queensborough President's office is great, and I'm truly honored to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We now will hear from Councilmember Peter Coop. Peter.
Thank you, our borough president. I wish all the city agents can do things as fast as you. Helping you a center, right? So, hello everyone. I am City Councilman Peter Coop. I represent Council District 20, which is native Flushing, which has the highest concentration of Asian Americans in the Northeast region, not only in Queens, right? In the Northeast region. And many immigrants, especially from China, from the South, from Asia, Taiwan, Hong Kong. Their first stop is always Flushing, when they come to New York. It's a destination of choice for many immigrants. So I want to thank all persons